Hey, flash fact. Have you ever heard of a watermelon bomb? Leave a whole watermelon in the heat for a while. When it starts to ferment, the gases will build up enough to make that watermelon go boom. Have fun and enjoy. Hello, and welcome back to the only show that reminds you if you're not happy single, well, you won't be happy in a relationship either. Happiness comes from day drinking, not relationships. Here on the Peter Pod Network! Season 2!
Because your theory is we're going to go down there and have a donkey barbecue and I'm going to furnish the ass, right? You are not. You don't know where that's been.
And hello, everybody. We are back to another tongue-in-cheek episode of the Peter Pod Network. I am Peter Pod. He's Will in the back, and this week's mascot, the last girl left at the bar at closing time. As we honor the effort it takes to wait around for your future baby daddy to get drunk enough to take you home. And this week's show should be a full one as we talk about a large altercation in Concord sent 3 to the hospital. And most of us are just surprised it doesn't involve drugs again. Famed game show host Bob Barker has died as God continues his game of whack-a-mole with the human race. A commander in New Hampshire's National Guard is looking at a court-martial for 5 charges. And everyone is keeping the details of that little story buttoned up tighter than my butthole around Andy Dick. A Michigan man proved that sometimes sending your food back at a restaurant is not enough. Sometimes you need to see a doctor to get some shots, too. A manufacturing plant being blamed for dropping harmful chemicals in New Hampshire waters has decided to pack up its shit and get the hell out of here. And why is it their choice to leave and not the authorities shoving a giant boot up their asses is beyond us. Also, you've heard of snakes on a plane. Well, how do you feel about bears on a plane? Because that shit happened. Also, someone proved that they were the ultimate porch pirate when they said, screw the packages, let's take the whole damn porch. And a new way to get fucked up was invented by a home intruder in Seattle, Washington. Score another one for morons everywhere. All of this and more on this week's episode of the Peter Pod Network. This week's email comes from Ethan in Nashua. Ethan wrote, I want to hear Really Big Jim in music episode number 30. And do you know why my wife and her friends hate the show, but all my male friends think it's funny? Well, Ethan, I think I can actually answer that one for you. Simply put, your wife's a bitch. You should get a divorce. And her friends are bitches too. That goes without saying. And don't worry about Really Big Jim. We've got more than a few votes for that song already, and unless something drastic happens, you'll hear that one in the music episode that's coming up in a couple weeks. But back to your wife. Leave that douchebag for someone who likes what you like. And I don't know if you got kids, but leave them too. You should probably brainwash them as well, and you don't need that kind of hassle. Remember, child support is only temporary, but peace and quiet is priceless. And if you want your email read on the show just like Ethan did, you can reach us at thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com and let us know what you liked and what you didn't. But please be warned, we practice and enjoy the fine arts of being assholes, even if that means comparing you to Corky from Life Goes On. And if you didn't get that reference, trust me, look it up, you'll see exactly what we mean. And for those who know who Corky is, welcome to the contents of our heads. Also, like, subscribe, and follow us on whatever platform you're listening to us on. It really does help when you do that so we can see who our audience is and make it so we can bring you a show aimed towards you. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter's new handle X. And for those of you who listen to us at work to help your day move along a little faster, you can also hear the Peter Pod Network on Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, and more. We don't pretend to be on top of this thing, and we'll fully admit that even we don't know all the places you can find us. So if you see a search bar, type in Peter Pod Network and see what happens. And as always, you can find the archives at peterpodnetwork.com. That's a place where we keep all the shows, bits, and full episodes that you can't find anywhere else, even the really shitty early ones. That's peterpodnetwork.com, the home of New Hampshire's shittiest little show. We wanted to remind you as well to follow Ethan's example and send in your votes for which songs you want to hear in music episode number 3 in a couple weeks. So send in those emails and let us know what you think would make a great episode 30. And now that we are around the halfway point in Season 2, we're also now accepting nominations for the 2023 New Hampshire Horror Awards that will be happening the last week of February. We ask that you get your suggestions in now so we can do all the proper research to torture these fuckers the right way. So far, our categories are parenting, internet personality, sports, politics, news media, and just like the last 2 horror awards, we want to give out an honorary horror award as well. So send in your votes on who you think is the biggest ass bag in New Hampshire this year, and make sure to include why you think they deserve to be a 2023 New Hampshire Horror Award winner. All right, let's get this show on the road with King of of the JackHoles! Well, I guess you know we're about to piss somebody off. That's right, King of the JackHoles is back, and we're talking about more than one person this time, because this week we bring you a very special edition of King of the JackHoles, because it's a group of people we all know. And know before you start guessing, the Peter Pod Network hasn't flipped a switch and decided to go after the blacks. Now, this week's King of the JackHoles are all the celebrities out there who bitch and complain about people talking about them. Most recently, it was Jessica Simpson complaining that her weight shouldn't be a conversation. And yeah, we're going to have some fun with that in a sec. But this isn't the only time someone whose whole identity was created because of their ability to be a part of people's conversations decided to voice their displeasure when the story of them selling out stadiums was replaced with the story of them causing local shortages of the McRib. And the whole goddamn thing, I gotta admit, reminds me of an old joke by a comedian named Greg Giraldo. May he rest in peace. And in that joke, Mr. Giraldo talks about going to bars and nightclubs and seeing these girls who, well, they put their tits on a shelf and cover themselves in fucking glitter and expect you not to stare. Now, I don't know how they can expect that since they just covered their tits in shiny shit, but just like Greg Giraldo was pointing out, celebrities, when you end up weighing as much as a fucking yacht, you better expect people to start talking about how you weigh as much as a fucking yacht. Not exactly a hard concept to grasp. And not to put too fine a shine on it, but Mike Tyson got some of the most fucked up shit said about him when he got his face tattoo. And I mean by everybody. But he didn't release tweets and whatever else talking about how his feelings were hurt. Someone said you had a fat ass, Jessica Simpson. You're kinda gonna have to get over it. People talked about how Mike Tyson's face tattoo is the reason why his rape conviction was only the second worst thing he's ever done. Hell, for a while, we actually had some respect for Lizzo, too. Because that lady just showed up one day and said something like, I got enough rolls to fill a Golden Corral, and I'm going to use my future heart attack to get famous. And she was right, it fucking worked. But now she comes out about how it's hurtful that people want to know, how many burgers does it take to make your ass look like Seal's face? And before you say that that's mean, both Lizzo's ass and Seal's face look like they were set on fire and then put out with a pickaxe. So eat a hard one. We think the comparison is pretty fucking fair. And if you don't like it, you can send in your hate mail to thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com. We don't really think we're alone in this line of thought, that if you're going to put yourself in the limelight, then people are going to look. And we know also that we're picking low-hanging fruit here, but no one really talks about it because really, it's a topic that needs someone to be an asshole about it to get the message across. And every time it comes across our desk as a possible topic, we say someone should. Hell, it might prevent the next Hanson. And really, when it comes to being an asshole about something, who better than us, right? So hopefully we got the message clear and didn't fuck that up too much, but in case we did fuck all that up, you're allowed to make fun of it. It's kind of a big part of this game you signed up to play when you put yourself in the public eye. So not only for being a whiny fucking bitch, but also for making me ruin a really good Greg Giraldo joke. Celebrities, you are King of the JackHoles! Ladies and gentlemen, the sound company presents to you the Platypus Song. Oh. Oh. Know that I'm just a platypus and I can't really sing, but I hope that you'll listen to me while I talk about everything. And I'm just a platypus making my way through this crazy world. But unfortunately, being a platypus means I'm so ugly that it hurts. Oh. 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 I'm just a platypus, just doing what I do. Everyone says that I'm ugly, so I feel ugly too. I'm just a platypus and I feel so stuck. Nobody knows, am I a beaver or am I a duck? just a platypus and I can't really sing. But I hope now you listen to me while I tell you about everything. I'm just a platypus making my way through this crazy world. But unfortunately, being a platypus means I'm so ugly that it hurts. Oh. 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 Coming to you live from the Peter Pod News Station's world-famous Stage 5. Join our host in discovering what makes you tick, New Hampshire. Is your neighbor secretly running a Taiwanese brothel out of his basement?
He is.
Are they open when I get off work tonight?
They are.
Do we know if they accept checks?
They do.
Can someone call my wife and let her know I'll be late?
On it.
This is the PPN News.
Welcome back to New Hampshire's only half-assed local news. Concord, New Hampshire police broke up a 10-person brawl on Depot Street and had to send 3 people to the hospital after receiving calls about a fight involving a gun and someone laying in the middle of the street. And as you can guess, everybody scattered except for the 3 people who were injured. Because, pow pow, bitches. Dispatch also reported they could hear over the phone call someone say that they were going to shoot a lady, which was then followed by what they believed to be gunshots. So yeah, they got their asses over there pretty quick and found 2 people on the ground at the scene and another one a street or 2 away. Good old Concord. Come for the crime, stay because you're the victim. Anyways, no arrests are reported so far, but police are continuing to investigate, even though most of us won't care within the next 24 hours. That'd be when the next horrible thing in Concord happens. A commander in New Hampshire National Guard is facing 5 charges, including assault and sexual harassment, while he was in charge of roughly 180 troops that were assigned to the southern border to work with border protection. And no one is talking about the details because the Army has taken over the investigation, which makes us think this guy is fucked. What we know so far is he is currently at Fort Bliss in Texas and has been busted down from commander to staff officer, which must make those water cooler conversations at the office awkward as fuck. And we really want to know, how does the guy explain to his new boss, who he used to be the boss of, why he was such a dick when he was the boss? I mean, this is the Army we're talking about. At some point he was probably telling people to do push-ups until they puked, and now those people are above him. We'll just say we see a lot of shitty assignments in that guy's Army future. Which may not be that long because he is scheduled to face a general court-martial in late January of next year. Saint-Gobain, the New Hampshire plant blamed for contaminating the water in local communities, has announced it is finally closing and is done poisoning the groundwater and air with PFAs, which are also called forever chemicals. So we got that to look forward to, New Hampshire. The French company announced the closure and plan to help the state with the environmental investigation into the damage it caused, in an effort to not look like the total pieces of shit that they actually are. And while most are celebrating that the plant is finally closing down, others are asking, why the fuck was it their choice? And those people would be right, which makes this just as much the state's fault that it is the Saint-Gobain plant itself. So once again, yay New Hampshire, because they found that the plant was putting harmful chemicals into the air back in 2004. Why the plant wasn't immediately closed then and not allowed to reopen until they fixed their shit should have been more than just us asking what the hell is going on. And to make it even sadder, they only checked the groundwater in New Hampshire because someone in New York was smart enough to check theirs. So far, the communities affected are Bedford, Hudson, Litchfield, Londonderry, and Merrimack, but no one is sure how far the pollution reached. So buy some stock in Dasani and Smart Water because we predict water being in high demand for a while. Neither the Peter Pod Network nor the PPN News are educated stock professionals, and any advice given is only advice. If you lose all your money, that's on your dumb ass. All right, good. And now a word from our sponsor.
Love is blind. We can find you love in exchange for some money.
Hi, my name's Derek, and here at Love is Blind Dating Services, we are the reason why your credit card is maxed out, you're stuck masturbating in the dark to reruns of the Golden Girls. With that in mind, your future someone special just may be out there, and we'll find him for you for a nominal fee. Because like we always say at Love is Blind, we find you love if you give us money. At Love is Blind, you can meet people like Nicholas.
Hi, my name's Nicholas. I'm doing this because my mom asked me, well, my mom keeps asking me really if I'm gay. I like rafting, going to the gym, doing silly things with my friend PJ, like seeing if our bodies really can hold a gerbil. So if you want to help me get my mom off my back, we can go to my favorite bar, the Breezeway, have a couple Cosmos, talk about our favorite characters from Sex and the City. I am totally a Samantha. And then, I don't know, we can just see where the night goes.
No, ho, ho, watch out, Nicholas. Sounds like you're gonna find yourself a very handsome woman. So come on down to Love is Blind on the corner of 38th and Swayze.
Love is blind. We can find you love in exchange for some money. Listen to stories from around the world. Sit back and relax with your girl. Try not to laugh until it hurts. Welcome to another edition of our world. Welcome back to another edition of our world. Our little way of saying, you're a giant piece of shit. But aren't we all? As reported earlier in the show, beloved game show host and the grandpa of American Wanted in the 90s, Bob Barker has passed away at the age of 99. May he rest in peace. We here at the Peter Pod Network are kind of getting tired of God's continued assault on those we love. I mean, what the fuck? You leave Corey Feldman? People all the way from their late 20s to the late 50s remember staying home sick from school and watching The Price is Right, as the great Bob Barker would make them spin that wheel. We would all wait for some idiot to hit his head on the damn thing and knock himself out cold. And you all know you secretly thought that too. And if we're being honest, as fans of the Happy Gilmore movie, we're just dying for Bob to say, "Price is wrong, bitch." Just one more time. So Bob, wherever you are, we thank you for your service. Thomas Howie at Madison Heights, Michigan has become increasingly depressed and paranoid about food served by others. And if he's telling the truth, he's got a good fucking reason since the March incident at a Detroit Olive Garden restaurant. Currently, Howie is suing them for tangible and intangible harm for only $25,000, claiming that he ate a spoonful of minestrone soup that had something strange in it. And like how all best horror movies start, when he felt a stab in his mouth, he spit that shit out and saw what appeared to be the foot of a rat that still had its fur and claws. And as you can guess, he immediately projectile vomited in the restaurant and told the staff. But the part we keep getting stuck on is why he's only suing for $25,000. If I find any part of a rat in my food, you better believe I'm telling my lawyer I want to own that fucking restaurant when the court case is over. Olive Garden isn't buying it though, saying they don't think it actually happened. But whether he made it up or not, Howie had a tetanus shot to treat the cut in his mouth, and for some reason took the foot to the police, who probably just looked at him like an artard and told him tough shit. Iraqi Airways in Baghdad, Iraq has got some explaining to do after a bear woke up from sedation while on a plane, then broke free of its cage and started moving around the cargo area. A video clip circulating online showed the pilot of the aircraft apologizing to the passengers while the plane was delayed. They could find someone stupid enough to go into the cargo hold and resedate the animal so they could remove it from the plane. Of course, the passengers on the plane are no doubt happy that Yogi didn't go looking for a picnic basket while the plane was in the air. But once the call goes out that there's a 400-pound vicious wild animal stalking the level below you on the intercom, well, that becomes a flight that you remember for a while. Eventually, the bear was caught, and even the Prime Minister of Iraq is pissed off enough to order an investigation. That makes some wonder if it wasn't his bear, because apparently having a wild, crazy animal as a pet over there is a thing rich people do. And then again, we got Joe Exotic, so who are we to talk? And Seattle, Washington police made a hell of a discovery on August 18th when they received report of a man who was trying to break into a home with a stick. When police entered the home, they found the homeowner hiding upstairs, and then continued their search of the house for the man that we have no other choice but to describe as a man who is willing to do what it takes to get as fucked up as possible. Because when police found the unidentified man, he was hiding in the garage inside a car and was chugging gasoline out of a jerry can. Where the fuck that is. After refusing to come out, police eventually broke the windows of the vehicle and hopefully gave him a breath mint in a heavily padded room. And father denied only because the best stories come out of Florida, though recently Pennsylvania has been keeping a close second. The Moat Marine Laboratory and Aquarium in Sarasota, Florida is reporting that one of its manatees died in April due to high-intensity sex with another manatee. That's my boy. That just happens to be his brother. Oh. The official cause of death is a sizable rip in his colon caused by, well, I'm sure you can guess. Officials at the aquarium stated that this happens in both captivity and in the wild. So those of you swimming around the southern Florida waters, be on watch. You don't want to get fucked to death by a gay manatee. That is definitely no bueno. His girlfriend is a black bear. And yeah, they have kids. A couple little hairy bastards that like to chew on things. And no, they don't talk much. She'll always be there. That's what you call love between a man and a bear. It's called fuzzy love, and it's undeniable. Fuzzy love, and it's undefinable. Deep in the mountains of the Northeast lives a man who's off the grid. Spends his time out in the wild making love to all the bears. And though he may have no teeth, his girl has enough to spare. So when it's time to sit and dine, she brings him home a deer. It's called fuzzy love, and it's undeniable. Fuzzy love, and it's undefinable. And when they get back home from a long day's hunt, they crawl into their bed and make that sick kind of love. It's called fuzzy love, and it's undeniable. It's called fuzzy love, and it's undefinable. It's called fuzzy love. It's called fuzzy love.
And that is our show for this week. Thanks for tuning in and checking out the Peter Pod Network. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow wherever you find us. It really does help us out. You can also catch us on Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Podcast Index, YouTube, Spotify, and more. If you see a search bar, just type in Peter Pod Network and see what happens. Send your emails to thepeterpodnetwork@gmail.com, and maybe we'll make fun of you on the show, just like Ethan and Nashua. And of course, find the archives at peterpodnetwork.com to find all the full episode songs and bits, and see why we are New Hampshire's favorite shitty little show. So for Will in the back, I am Peter Pod, and our mascot this week, the last girls left at the bar at closing time. Good for you for not accepting that you're ugly. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday, only on the Peter Pod Network. Here we are, we're what you want, even if you don't. I've already had too much to drink, and I might be a little stoned. They're ready to be stupefied by a story about your mom. And maybe you'll realize